Welcome back to CPA Diversity. This is Christopher Johnson, Mr. CPA Diversity, here on another live stream for all of you. And today we will be covering and discussing bridging the gap between CPA and cyber talent gap, bridging the CPA and cyber talent gap. I thought this was a very important discussion for today because I've been doing some research this week on, how we can align people who are interested in going into accounting and also figuring out a path for themselves to success. And what I've identified is that there are two talent gaps that are out there. One in the world of accounting, and then another one in the world of cyber and cybersecurity. And both of these industries are talking about how they can promote more education and awareness and the opportunities there are for individuals to pursue careers because there's a talent gap. I think, it's been said, and the research and studies have been done in the accounting industry that show that there are less than 1% of African Americans or people who identify as ethnically diverse, so that you could be Hispanic, you can be Asian, that are pursuing the CPA license and studying to pass the CPA exam and become CPAs. I actually was reading an article this week that said that they've done some research to show that people in general are taking the CPA exam less and less every year. Last year was the lowest number in like the last few decades that people have been going out to try to take the CPA exam and become CPAs. So, and then I was also looking into cybersecurity, and they were saying that there's an estimated 2 million, maybe 2 to 3 million jobs that we need globally for cybersecurity and cyber professionals that is being unmet because they can't find the correct talent. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that if you are someone who is looking to identify a great career opportunity, bridging you being an accountant, being a CPA, and also working in cyber is a really niche opportunity for you to be able to align yourself to be able to have a great career. And we're going to get into that. But before we even jump right in, first of all, if you haven't subscribed to CPA Diversity, we do CPA, which is Certified Public Accountant, and accounting education for those of you who are considering a career in accounting. So I encourage you to hit subscribe on our channel because we're covering all kind of topics and content and discussions to help you understand what being an accountant means and all the different things you can do. Also, I want to dive into and remind everyone that I've got a discussion coming up with the CAQ, the Center for Audit Quality, and with NABA, the National Association of Black Accountants. Okay, that's coming up, and I've been covering this for the last couple of weeks because I want to make sure that you all are aware that they have this initiative to bridge the diversity gap in accounting. Okay, so what I want to do is let's talk through that. So if you can see here, for the last couple of weeks, this was last week's live stream, and the week before, I've been covering this. I've been talking about diversity in accounting. I've been talking about the upcoming conversation I'm going to be having with the Center for Audit Quality and NABA. That's happening this week and will be published soon on CPA Diversity. And the expected date that it will be published for the Center for Audit Quality is the 25th of October. So we encourage you to join in on LinkedIn and watch. And if you don't catch it on LinkedIn, I'm going to be posting it on the channel here. And we're going to be having a discussion about what the CAQ and NABA have done under the strategic partnership that they have, right? So this is a partnership that the CAQ and NABA have in order to build a pipeline for historically black colleges and universities. And the main goal is that they want Black and African American community college students who are seeking to continue their education at HBCUs to go into accounting and finance fields. And this partnership is supposed to help to support and provide resources for that pipeline. Because if you know anything about the challenges that people are having with the accounting profession and passing the CPA exam and getting more diversity in accounting is that we've got that pipeline. So the pipeline being all the things you need to do to go from being someone who's just a student to actually accomplishing and becoming a certified public accountant, right? So that means you'd have to go to school, you have to go to college, you have to get all your credits, you have to study for the CPA exam, you got to take the CPA exam and pass it, which is roughly now 4 parts. Which is 4 parts, but that's changing too, and we'll talk about some. Then you got to get experience requirements, and then you can be a CPA. So there are a lot of things. It's a pretty big ask, and there's a lot of things that can happen in that pipeline. So what the accounting profession has identified is that there are those challenges, and we want to do more to support people through that so they can make it from point A, which is being a student who's interested in being a certified public accountant, to Z, which is becoming licensed, being a CPA, and being able to be someone who provides business value as a CPA, right? So we're doing that interview. I encourage you all to read this article. It's called NABA Inc. and the CAQ form a strategic partnership to build a pipeline for HBCU students or for HBCUs. And this is all really falling under the umbrella of the CAQ. The CAQ is launching a diversity, equity, and inclusion talent pipeline initiative to support accounting profession, right? And they've done some research that say they need to do more, that everyone in the accounting profession needs to do more to bring diversity to the profession of accounting. And two of the big things that they've done is that they created these websites, which I want to revisit, which is the Bold Ambition website. So if you click that link, it takes you here. And it talks more about what the CAQ and what their partner firms are doing under the Bold Ambition initiative to bring more education, to bring more resources, and to bring more diversity to the profession of accounting. So right now, the website says it's got 470 million total investments from firms, okay? So they have the capital that they're backing to bring more diversity into the profession. That means if you identify as someone as considered Black, brown, or of ethnic diverse background, they are looking to give support to you to bring you into studying accounting, to get you to study for the CPA exam, and to pass the CPA exam. The other website, which is a very important website that they have, is the Accounting Plus website, which is a really interactive and fun website that provides education about the accounting profession, about the lifestyle, about the career opportunities, and it just gives you so much to look through and understand. Recently, I've seen that they've been posting interviews with people who serve as accountants and identify as diverse ethnicities. They've been posting videos that you can watch so you can get some insight on what they're doing at the companies that they work at. They have articles here that tell you more about what being an accountant means. And I really like this website, so I've been encouraging people to just go here and do some research and studying. But back to the topic, which is bridging the gap with cyber and CPAs. At the end of the day, this is about we need more talent in the accounting profession. We need more CPAs. We need more people who want to go into cyber. And as an accountant, you can do that. You can be a digital CPA. That's somebody who is a certified public accountant who specializes in IT, in information security, in data analytics. You can have that specialty to marry to your CPA license. It's something that me personally have gone down that path and has been very rewarding. And I'm just going to go out and say it. I think that it's the biggest opportunity in accounting right now is to pursue becoming a digital CPA, because it's still a relatively new piece of what CPAs can do. And it's a very growing and developing profession, along with how the world is still growing in technology and still growing in cyber and in cybersecurity. So that's what I wanted to make sure I highlighted in this live today. And I wanted to do something. I wanted to show how this Accounting Plus website has some really good information about what it means to be an accountant, what it means to go into the accounting profession, the types of accountants that you can be. So if you navigate to Accounting Plus homepage, and if you just scroll down here to types of accountants and click on this. For those of you who don't know all the different things that accountants can do or that CPAs can do, they all can do certain things. CPAs generally do a lot of this stuff, but you can specialize in any one of these areas. So being financial accounting, right? So financial accounting is talking about preparing financial statements for businesses, analyzing those statements, knowing how to communicate the activities reflected in the statements to management and to leadership of companies so that they can make decisions about what's happening with the company. They can take a look back and see what's going on from the numbers. They can take a look forward and have forecasts and projections. And these the financial accounting is really about helping communicate the language of business, right? How is your business performing? And you can do this for mid-size, small size, or even large global companies, right? All companies need a financial accountant. So that's one of the things that CPAs and accountants do. Management accountants also do similar things, but they focus more towards on managing money and I guess cash flow. So it says if you manage your business, if you're becoming your own boss, management accounting is your best bet. Management accounting is used in business worldwide to look at the future cash inflows and outflows, making high-level decisions for success of every company based on financial planning and analysis. Okay, so one of the things that I want to highlight here is the CPA evolution, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well, which is that the CPA exam is being changed a bit in 2024. And one of the things that they're doing is that they're kind of replacing the BEC section of the CPA exam. So if you're not familiar, the CPA exam is a test you take in order to become a certified public accountant. And if you've taken this test, you have to take 4 parts. It's FAR, financial accounting and reporting. So that's this financial accounting piece that we're talking about. There's audit, which I'm sure we'll get down to here somewhere where they talk about audit. Audit has a whole nother website, but audit is one of the other sections. Tax or regulation, I'm sorry, is what it's called. Regulation, which talks about tax, which talks about law, which talks about compliance, and then also BEC, which is business environment concepts, which is a section that's really a generalized section about a lot of business management concepts. So they are almost, I would say, doing away with BEC, and they're kind of spreading it across all the different sections. But one of the things that they're doing is saying that candidates can now take one of 3 sections. So you're still going to take FAR, you're still going to take audit, and you're still going to take regulation. But now you can pick one of 3 somewhat specialized sections, or what they call them are disciplines, which are business analysis and reporting, tax and compliance, I forgot that one, but and then information systems and controls. I did a video on it, so if you really want the details of what that is, go ahead and you can look at my channel and see there's a video that we put up that says, what is CPA evolution, which is right here. I encourage you to go watch that. I go into some of the details about the CPA exam and the changes that are coming up in 2024. So with that being said, this piece of financial planning and analysis, I think, aligns also with the business analysis and reporting section of the updated CPA exam that's going to be happening in 2024. So that's another thing that we do in terms of management accounting. You've got government accounting because the government needs accountants, so that's also another good field to work in. Nonprofit accounting, cost accounting, forensic accounting, right? For those of you who want to get really into the understanding of the numbers and helping to identify things like fraud, or just understanding how things work with solving mysteries in terms of how the numbers and performance of businesses, what happens in businesses. Forensic accountants are good for either understanding analyzing the numbers, understanding and analyzing the business, and understanding what it takes to just figure out the hard problems that numbers can solve. So some positions you have here are forensic financial analyst, international forensic accountant, forensic economic case manager, and a forensic consultant. So very good opportunity as well. Tax accounting, of course. People say, hey, are you an accountant? You do taxes? Yes, we do taxes. So tax accounting. Public accounting for those big, large organizations that are publicly traded, fiduciary accounting, international accounting, and I wanted to get to this, which on Accounting Plus is an honorable mention, right? It's called Information Technology and Data Analytics, which is aligning with that information systems and control section of the updated CPA exam. The NASBA and the AICPA, who are responsible for the CPA exam, acknowledge that information technology is a big piece of what accountants need to know going forward. What the world is doing, technology is enabling the world in a big way and will continue to do that into the future. So accountants can be people who serve in helping businesses with technology, understanding risk, understanding how to protect data, how to manage data, right? So that's one of these things that is a very specialized field that accountants also do. And this is a good way to align yourself to take advantage of opportunities. We've got the accounting profession who's saying, hey, we need more diversity, we need more talent, right? We've got the cyberspace and cybersecurity profession is saying, we also need more talent. It sounds like to me, anybody who decides to become an accountant and go into the technology space or the cybersecurity space and become what we call a digital CPA would have a lot of opportunity to be able to have a career that's long lasting, a career that's paying, a career that provides you flexibility, right? Because you can take your skills from one place to the next. So that is, something that I think if you are looking to figure out how to align yourself as an accountant or what you want to do with the CPA, information technology, information systems and controls is definitely something that you should be considering for your career. So I want to encourage that for you all. And then another thing I wanted to make sure we talked about too is CPA evolution. So like I said, the CPA exam is changing, and one good website that I like to go to is This Way to the CPA because it provides a lot of information as well about what to do or what it means to be a CPA. So, and they have a page and they have an article about the upcoming CPA evolution initiative, not upcoming, but actually still active, and also the CPA exam, the upcoming changes in the CPA exam, which will be happening in 2024. So we're still a little over a year out, but like I said, they've got information systems and controls as a discipline, right? Here go the disciplines here. So you've got business analysis and reporting, information systems and controls, and tax compliance and planning. That's the one that I meant to say. So it's tax compliance and planning. All good areas for a CPA or for an accounting professional to go into. But I'm going to say I feel like information systems and controls and becoming a digital CPA is a great opportunity considering the amount of focus there has been on bridging the gap in the accounting world, not only for diversity, but for cybersecurity professionals. It is a widely known thing that there is a talent shortage. You can be that change. You can be that change. So let me go back here. Let's talk. And I think, I wanted to make sure I brought that up because one of the important things that I've been thinking about is how I can best give back and serve to anyone out there who's looking for some guidance on what it means to be an accountant, what it means to be a CPA, what it means to be someone who identifies as a diverse ethnic background, like somebody who identifies as a black or brown professional or student who is looking for some guidance on what to do in their career or while they're in college. This to me, based on my research and based on my own personal experience, has been a very rewarding career working as a CPA and also working in the IT space. I actually, I didn't know about this when I was in college. I actually just heard a story that made me interested in IT. So what I did was, I majored in accounting and took a minor in IT, and it brought me to this world of governance, risk, compliance, internal controls, information security, data protection, data privacy, a lot of these different topics that are very important for all businesses to understand so that way they can protect their business, protect their customers' information, protect their interests. And it's something that I definitely encourage you to look into it watch our videos on CPA diversity and ask questions if you've got them in the comments or even on the live. I'm using a new technology right now for the lives because I'm trying to make sure that I improve on how we interact and we do these sessions. So I'm hoping that I'm actually live streaming and that if there are comments that are popping up, I can see them. If not, don't worry, I'll make sure we get this corrected. But I wanted to definitely go and point out these websites. You've got these 3 websites now that have tons of information on them, and then you've got CPA diversity that where we're putting out videos on these topics too. And if it were my suggestion to anyone who's a student or a young professional who's thinking about becoming a CPA or you're working in accounting right now, go get your CPA license. Do the studying that's necessary because it's going to pay off. I keep hearing stories about how it's an absolute must that you become a CPA, not just someone who has an accounting degree, because the world is demanding more expertise. And becoming a CPA, passing the CPA exam, is a way to demonstrate that you are an expert. If not, it's a way to demonstrate that you have an ability to learn. And I was listening to an interview this week, and they were saying more than anything, more than a degree, more than a certification, what these organizations are looking for are people who are willing to learn. If you're willing to learn, one lady I listened to, she said she was a top executive of one of the companies that were in this interview. She said, honestly, I don't care if you're an arts major, I don't care if you're a music major. And she worked in cybersecurity. She said, if you just have an eager to learn and want to do the job with a great attitude, we'll train you on what to do. That's how much they need talent in the cyberspace. And I will say that we also need that much talent in terms of diverse CPAs. That's why the AI CPA, that's why NABA, that's why the Center for Audit Quality, NABA, I'm sorry, for anyone who doesn't know, is an affinity group by the National Association of Black Accountants. That's why everybody in the accounting profession is doing their best to bring more awareness to the opportunities that are in accounting, okay? The opportunities, the education, the experiences, the good people you can work with. One of the things that has been a myth about being an accountant is that we, only do numbers. And, computers do that now, which is why we need digital CPAs, right? The people who are the accountants now, we do more with interacting with people, looking at processes, evaluating numbers. We don't necessarily crunch them anymore because, computers are doing that. So it makes it a more exciting profession to be in because we're not just in the weeds of numbers at all time. It's definitely something to look into. It's definitely something that I will be covering and continuing to cover on the channel. And I thought it would be good for us to discuss this week because this is happening right now. So for all of you that are out there who are taking the CPA exam right now, continue to keep pushing forward, continue to keep your studying, continue to keep your motivation to pass, and then you can possibly, if you choose to go this route, pivot into IT, pivot into the digital area. For those of you who are going to be taking the CPA exam in 2024 and beyond, so maybe you're a student right now, I would say continue to look into this, but plan to take advantage of the opportunity of taking the CPA exam and taking that information systems and control section because that's going to align you perfectly to be somebody who puts yourself right in the forefront of this cyber talent or cybersecurity talent gap that the world is trying to fill. And you'd be very niche because you're not just somebody who does data engineering. You're a CPA, you're an accountant that's going to be an IT professional, which is needed. So definitely look into it. Like I said, we're bridging the gap with CPAs and cyber. We're going to talk about this more. I'm glad I got to cover it today on this live. Make sure you like the channel, continue to comment. I didn't see any comments come through, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm either not really broadcasting live right now or there's just nobody on the live. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that people watch the lives after I'm done. and I'm gonna get the ins and outs fixed. This live thing is new, but it's definitely something I want to do because I want to give access to people, to me, to people who are in the community. A lot of times I see comments and I see people say, "Hey, can you email me? Can you call me?" I can't. I'm figuring a lot of that out still, so I'll admit that it's on me. But I figured a good way to do that is to have a live session so that way we can communicate and I can try to answer your questions. I don't see anything coming through now, but we'll get it right. We'll get it right. So on that note, I see we're at 25 minutes here. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and say if there are any comments that I see on the live later, I'm gonna make sure to respond to them and continue to comment, continue to like, continue to watch the videos. I have more coming up. And happy studies. Happy studies. Continue to push through like I always say. And I'll see you on the next video.